Whereas with him, it's like he's going this way and then he's going that way. And you're like, what the fuck? What? What?
Love is love, guys. Love is love. You ever seen that Macklemore song?
This guy's such a fucking wretched, pathetic liar, man.
Wait, Liam went to private Catholic school? Dude, I'm putting the pieces together. Yeah, I don't think Chud's attracted to men, generally. I think he was attracted to some men, just not what fucking happened in his DMs, dude. I want to see Loam do well. I can't help it. New developments in the Liam Donovan trans situation, guys, okay? So, yesterday, Aiden went live and leaked some DMs he had with Liam Donovan, okay? So we did already look at this, but we're gonna take a look now, for the sake of the segment, at this argument that Liam and Aiden had in DMs just a little while ago, just a week ago or so, just within the last week, I believe. So let's hear it.
When I started trying to stream in 2023 and then into the beginning of 2024 before I quit for a year, right? When that was going on, Liam was like my top guy. We were gonna do a fucking dual show together called Scorched Earth. We were like, yeah, we were good friends. But essentially, when he comes back, I think everybody is fucking like overreacting about the Liam Donovan shit. To me, it was clear that's the path he wanted to go down. I think there was like some reasoning from him that made it like seem strange. Like he was under the belief that he's always been passionate about music. And I could tell with the music, he was passionate about doing this, but it wasn't necessarily the music reviews he wanted to do. He believed that that would go and segue into people listening to his music. And I was trying to explain to him that there's not necessarily going to be a translation there. People like watching you because you review music.
So I think that he said that on my stream. I think he said that when he called into my stream like a while ago. He said that he was hoping to, launch into his own music stuff. But that's not really, that isn't really how it works. You might be able to get a little bit of a boost if it's really good. But, I mean, it's never going to be guaranteed. And you shouldn't get into the music commentary stuff thinking you're going to be able to launch actual music stuff off of it, because you will likely be disappointed.
Music is not going to make people like the music that you play. You know what I mean? So I was trying to explain that. We had a bit of an argument about that, whatever. Then one of his bitch-ass mods is being very hostile to me, a mod by the name of Mocha Poca, okay? We're beefing back and forth for weeks. Then it turns out Liam is with Kai, and Kai is Mocha Poca, so I was beefing with Kai. But we're all cool. Listen, we're cool after that. We were talking. We were friends. And we had a few convos that were very genuine, right? They were very genuine. I was just talking to him about, like, just...
Why would Lyrics want his music to be popular just because he's a streamer? Does he not care about his actual talent being recognized, or does he just want social media numbers? I think Lyrics cares a lot about how he's viewed, how he's seen by other people, how he's perceived by people. I think that's a big deal to him. That was a lot of his reasoning when he called into my stream about why he stopped making rape jokes and trans jokes and stuff, was I don't be seen as that type of person and all this stuff. So I think it's a lot about how he's seen. He wants to be seen as a musician more than truly, be a musician, I think. Which comes off, that comes off as quite young and you haven't quite decided where you're going yet, if you know what I mean.
Just life, right?
I think Aiden says here it's like his own identity crisis. There's a little bit to that. There's a little bit to that.
His path and what he was doing. And I think that although it may seem like a 180 to some, I've said this before, I think the commentary, like edgy persona, was the fake him. I think this is a little bit more genuine, but I also think he's like having a fucking identity crisis. Yeah, so he's with Kai again. And then I go and straighten your, thank you for reminding me. I have to fucking, dude, I always forget. Okay. So then I go and I see this stream, not the stream where he has like the full makeup, but the stream where it's like his hair looks lighter. It's like an uncanny valley type shit. So part of my friendship with everyone, you cannot find a friend that I don't banter with, okay? Sometimes I go a little bit far with it, but I banter with everyone. Everyone knows this, okay? Liam has always bantered. We bantered back and forth, okay? He's always been like, you're so gay, bro. You're gay, like all the fucking time. And that was still the case like a month ago. I always joke, okay? So a month ago, even though we were having genuine conversations, there were still just like casual, fucking jokes, whatever. Now fast forward to a month later, I'm gonna call into his stream and like just poke a little fun at him. I think it will be funny. I don't even think he's gonna pick up. He doesn't. So I don't think much of it. I move on. He then says, "Hey, why did you call?" I said, "Was gonna make fun of you," with a pointing emoji, Ellen DeGeneres looking ass. And then he's like, and then he types okay in all lowercase and call me schizo. But when I see okay in all lowercase or K as a response, I feel like someone is displeased with me. Okay. So I said gay coded
neurotic woman behavior. Neurotic woman behavior. Totally neurotic woman behavior.
Response as a joke. I wasn't even thinking, like, I just a gay code response. And he's like, "Aren't you actually bisexual?" He's like, I said, "What do you mean?" Little bro. He's like you're bisexual and you know that, but you go around calling the things gay or making fun of the concept of that. That's just confusing. I don't know why you do that. I said, "It's the internet. We call everything gay." He says, "No, we don't. You're just in a circle of people who do and use the word interchangeably with bad," which, as someone who's bisexual, I don't know why you would subject yourself to that. It's like Blair White being a conservative.
So that's awesome. That's so cool. It's so cool he said that to Aiden. It's like Blair White being conservative. You could. Aiden, why are you being such a pick-me bisexual for these commentary retards? Why are you being such a pick-me bisexual? Oh my god. Losing it. Losing it. So I understand why Aiden got annoyed with this conversation because, you know, it's like Lyrics has just adopted these opinions and Aiden's been saying it for quite a while. And then Lyrics is just like, "Aren't you like Blair White?" It's like, well, Aiden's been in those calls arguing with Augie since he was 13. You know, Blair White doesn't get on and get into like heated disagreements with everyone, does she? She sits there and says the exact same things.
So, just to be clear, I just want to... How many of you are gay? I just need to know this. I have never been homophobic, okay? My chat has never been legitimately homophobic to me.
This guy is like unbearable. How many of you guys are gay? See, I've got loads of gay people here. See, we're not homophobic. Dude, it's like totally bro. How many of you guys are black? See how many black fans? This because we don't say the N-word here, guys. How many guys are Indian? How many Indians in chat right now? How many Indians in chat right now? Have we got women in chat right now? Shut the fuck up, dude. We get it, man. You don't say the N-word. Wow. Look at this guy. Whoa. He's so freaking mature. You don't say the N-word, guys. You didn't say the N-word.
Fucking like most of you are in your like late teens, 18, 19 to early 20s. I'd like to think that most of you self-identify as progressives. But the woke libs are not going to take our fucking humor. Okay? They're not going to take our humor from us. So we joke around here. We joke around here. All right? We joke around here. I don't think anybody legitimately, with the exception of maybe two that I know of, legitimately has a problem with anyone who's gay or you know, into same gender relationships. Because if that were the case, why the fuck are you watching me, right? So I don't think that like that's like we're obviously different. We're obviously not different. We're obviously not like homophobic. But anyways, I just responded, I don't know what circle, and then he compares me to like Blair White being a conservative. And I said, I don't know what circle you're talking about. I'm on bad terms like everyone in commentary except like the former BreadTube types, which is like just Chud and Kuihman. I literally call it genuine homophobia in my streams, which I have, right? And I'm obviously a fucking lefty. The calling shit gay thing is ironic banter. People understand it's not a genuine, legitimate expression of homophobia and therefore wouldn't be worthy of genuine condemnation. And then he shifts the goalposts and he's like, I'm just saying, like, I know, but I'm saying people in your audience. Feels like there's a general sentiment there, and it rubs off on you, too. From the day I came back streaming, I literally said, if you're still, like, a fucking RFC retard, get out of my audience. Like, I'm not catering to a bunch of, like, 100 layers of irony fucking conservatives. There's some...
Oh, sorry, I missed it. He said it used to be BreadTube. Like, oh, I don't even know what he's trying to say with that. But sure.
To watch me, right? You know, and honestly, they must have, like, some thick fucking skin. But, like, we're not... Hold on. He's like, I'm not saying you're actually homophobic, but you probably passively engage in it, you know? I have literally been, and I've been consistent on this.
Dude, Jimberly, so true, bro. That's so real. Aiden's been calling himself a communist since the age of 17, and is actually the most lib-cucked streamer in commentary. He would know about identity crises. I'm a communist. I'm a communist. I think we should have universal healthcare. I'm a communist. I love Mao. I think we should have universal healthcare. I love Mao and Stalin. I think we should have like universal healthcare.
out of everyone in the former commenters, I've been the most woke. Like out of like the, you know, Augie, Nick, Orbiter type, whatever. Like I have literally been, this has been consistent, right? This has been consistent since I was like 13, 14. When I stopped being a conservative. I'm genuinely principled on certain beliefs. I like to
You make 3-hour video essays about why Peppa Pig is anti-colonial.
I like having minorities in my community and wherever. I try not to create a hostile environment. Nobody here, but I also like to laugh. Everybody likes to laugh, and unfortunately, there is some funny shit that has like dark subject matter. Like nobody here is like that I know of is like legitimately fucking bigoted. And like. He knows that.
Yeah, stop being conservative at 13. So how long were you conservative for? 2 days? 3 days?
And when I would talk about politics, liberal politics, he would call me fucking gay for it. So it's like he just put on a jacket that I've been wearing for like many, many years. He just put on a fucking jacket and he's now lecturing me on it, which like I was pretty offended about. It's like, why, like what the fuck is going on? I don't know. Are you the one that's ringing my phone? It's on my couch. Hold on. No. But anyways, I just explained that when I call something gay, I'm not actually thinking about homosexuality. He said he gets that, but still calling things that are bad or cringe gay, which is just kind of messed up to continue normalizing. And yeah, it kind of bothers me. I think you're cool and funny sometimes, but I get the sense you're just going to make fun of me for some stupid reason along those lines. Why would I unironically make fun of lyrics for whatever the fuck he is? I don't care. I am cool with and have friends with people who are probably like literally everything, like trans, non-binary. I don't know if I have, I have had trans and non-binary friends. I think I have at least one. I just can't think of them right now. Gay, whatever. Like I'm not like legit. Obviously, he's like talking. It's almost like he's talking like I'm Augie and you're the RFC audience. It's like I don't give a fuck about that. I don't care. I said if I was gonna make fun of you, it would be for your hair, not for fucking men or some shit. And then. I just like say to him, or he says, I assume you're saying I'm sensitive, but it's like, how else am I supposed to react when like genuine and normal to you in our last few interactions? And the way you engage back is like only with the purpose of messing with me. I think my reaction makes sense. Like I'm just acting like a normal person. And I say, I was calling while you were live because I thought it'd be funny. Also, you can be genuine and still engage in banter. It seems like you've had a change personality-wise, which there isn't anything inherently wrong with, but I feel you expect me to immediately witness and understand that change. I've been contextually appropriate when you've been genuine with me in private. I've been genuine back and still made jokes because it's who I am. If you're not intolerant of that, there's zero way for me to automatically know, right? Which is true. It's like all of a sudden this guy doesn't like calling shit gay when he's done it to me all the time, upwards of a month ago. How am I supposed to just like fucking know that you switch overnight? Maybe explain to me, hey, I know we were like doing this last month, but this thing kind of bothers me now.
Yeah, I think Loam has some communication issues, as we may come to figure out as this goes on. I think Loam has some doesn't really always say what he means, you know. Thinks it's better to sort of beat around the bush and raise the topic, you know, like he's trying to convince a woman to do anal, you know. Like he's trying to convince a woman to do anal, you know, just beating around the bush, raising the topic. Oh, yeah, maybe, you know, some people say that's cool. Some people say that's cool, you know. That's Liam. That's Liam. Liam wants you to do something. It's like he's trying to talk you into anal.
And I'll say, cool, okay, I don't care.
Wait, speaking of women convincing you to do anal, speaking of where's the clip? Guys, did we see this? This has been going around on Twitter the last 24 hours. I don't know if you saw this.
Dude, I was with a girl once, and so this wasn't talked about beforehand, and this was just something in the heat of the moment, and then she just put her finger in my ass, and I was like, what the fuck are you doing? And then we just stopped. I was like, what the fuck?
Now, guys, what do we think is going on here? Do we think this is a lie he told to make it sound like he's sexually active? Or do we think this really happened? And some bitch actually dared go. Well, I didn't even know it was possible to go those places. I thought that'd be unreachable. I thought those would be unreachable depths, not seen by anyone. Bo Blacks knows it's a lie. Dude, it's such a...
Dude, I was with a girl once, and
clip, man.
Jesus, So this wasn't talked about beforehand, and this was just something in the heat of the moment. And then she just put her finger in my ass, and I was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And then we just stopped. I was like, "What the fuck?"
Now, guys, like I said, I thought it would be impossible to reach a place like that, but fortunately, great minds have actually simulated what happened here, and we've been able to 3D model what we think may have happened in the situation. So let's take a look at the simulation of this. There's artist rendition. Our top minds have managed to simulate this.
With that being said, lyrics, when you leave her, I'll be here for you, buddy. I'll be here for you, buddy. I'm not taking it personally. I know she made you type that. I know she made you type that. Aiden, how far in are you on your transition? Can we not project fetishes onto me, please? Thanks. I am a call what? Oh my, fuck. Just call me on Discord. Okay. This better be the most important shit ever. Hello?
Okay, so that's the end of the important part here. So that's what happened at Aiden's stream last night. So you had that conversation with Liam in private. They fell out over it. Now, from there, we go to r/Liam Donovan music, okay? And we see this post. This man just gets so jealous, it's sad. And here you see a Chud Logic video with a thumbnail of Loam last year to Loam this year, going from the Rape News Network Loam we all know to Miku Loam, the new Loam. And it says, Lyrics is trans now. It's a 2-hour video. 2 hours talking about one unimportant thing. It's just creepy at this point. He really has an obsession with some people, including Loam. I urge people to report the video. So, this person is having an episode, unfortunately. This person is having an episode. In fact, I'm tempted to look at their profile. Of course, it's age-gated. This person is having an episode. This is really not a big deal. Who cares? So what? There's a 2-hour video making fun of him for wearing makeup. Okay, and? Yes, funny. Like, it is just funny, unfortunately. Even if you don't think it's funny to just mock gay people and trans people and whatever. It's funny because of the U-turn. It's funny because of the big change in such a short time. And it's funny because of the trend of this happening. So, Loam replies here. What does he say? Yeah, I'm not really sure how to go about if I want posts like this up. So you should probably just delete it if that's how you feel. Because it just gives more attention to a guy who has admitted and outright said to me that he lies about me and will continue to lie about me when I talk to him in DMs. So this is, you know, I don't think this is quite true, is it? Like, I don't think Chud, unless Chud was, you know, unless it was like obvious. Unless it's like literally he's obviously saying shit to fuck with you. And it's like, no, I don't care. I'm going to keep saying it because it annoys you. And that's like basically transparent. He would not be like, yeah, that's wrong and I don't care. You know, that's wrong. I don't care. I'm going to keep saying it. Right? I just don't. That's not something I think Chud would likely say. And now it's gotten to a point where the content is just me changing my appearance and investigating whether I'm trans or not, lol. So that's, it's not just about changing your appearance, is it? It's about the whole switch up. It's about the whole switch in mindset. It's like, it's one thing to, you know, let's say Loam came on wearing Gerard Way-esque MCR makeup. People might look at that and go, oh, what an idiot. That's corny, that's goofy. But they wouldn't be, like, shocked. It wouldn't be, like, this crazy new development. It wouldn't be, like, you know, mind-blowing shit. It would be like, yeah, that's roughly in line with his character. The issue here is it's not just an appearance change. It is an appearance change that is so far outside the bounds. And he has not explained it in a satisfactory way. He said what? He said, oh, I'm wearing makeup. You know, why do you wear a t-shirt? You just think the t-shirt looks cool. Like, he would have mocked that explanation. Obviously, there's something a little bit more going on here. You know, there's no one just starts dressing like a fucking girl out of nowhere for, oh, it just looks cool. Come on now. Let's be serious. I'm not casting aspersions or saying what there might be. It may be AGP. You may be looking at the, you know, Link getting dicked down SFM WebMs and being like, damn, that could be me. That could be what's going on here. But I wouldn't, you know, state that as fact. I just don't find the current explanation to be sufficient for what I'm witnessing. Where were we in this comment? Investigating whether I'm trans or not, lol. It's like the most pathetic thing ever, to be honest. This guy is 40 years old, and this is what he does for a living. Which is even more ironic, because just a few years ago, he was called a chaser, because he was in the DMs of multiple trans people being sexual to Mal. One who was 17, but lied about their age, that they were 18. And he calls me a grifter for changing within the span of 21 to 22. Here's this drastic change in his mid-30s, going from being sexual with the same trans people he now makes fun of for content. So, let's pick this apart. So it is very embarrassing that Chud was hitting up trans 17-year-olds, little boys. He was hitting up little boys. Not too dissimilar from yourself, Loam. Uglier, we must admit. But not too dissimilar from yourself, Loam. So, watch your back. So, Chud was hitting little boys, and that is shameful and disgusting. However, the whole, like, oh, you're 40 and you're doing YouTube, it's like, yeah, that can be really cringe. If you're like Tommy C and you suck at it and you're like a total failure. But if you're like relatively successful, I really don't see the issue, you know? I really don't see the issue with you having a YouTube channel where you make fun of people on the internet, make fun of internet drama and internet figures. If you're successful with it, you know? If you're just like a fucking nobody, you're like 40, you're streaming to no one, you're living off your wife. You're not putting food on the table for your kids, you know? Yes, that's fucking pathetic. But just doing YouTube as a job, like, what's the alternative? Chud goes back to selling fucking insurance. I'm pretty sure almost anyone working in insurance would rather be a streamer, you know? Would you go work some shit service job? Fuck that. So I just thought, like, oh, you're making, like, way above median income from doing something you enjoy at home all day. Like, it's not really, it doesn't land with me. I don't think it lands with anyone who's had to work shit jobs they hate. I think they would all rather just be streaming. Having been there. So, multiple trans people have been sexual out, and yet caused me a grift of changing within the span of 21, 22, when he had this drastic change in his mid-30s, going from being sexual with the same trans people he now makes fun of for content. Okay. So, yes. Loam is a lot younger. Changing is more understandable. However, Loam has done this entire change, like, offline. Assuming it's all genuine, which I have no reason to doubt. I think, you know, he may be influenced by his girlfriend or Canada or his audience or whatever. But, I don't think he's saying things he doesn't think he means, you know? I've got no reason to believe he's saying things he doesn't think he means, at least. Doesn't feel like he believes at the moment. Even if he may not forever. And it may be quite sudden. And not make a lot of sense. So I don't agree with the grift stuff. However, he's done it all offline. All out of the public eye. Any change that's happened. So, I mean, yeah, people are going to see it as very strange, out of nowhere. You know, contradictory. They're going to have questions about it. It's going to feel like you're kind of hiding stuff, especially if you delete posts. Meanwhile, Chud, the whole change that Chud's gone through has happened in the public eye, on stream, thought out, spoken out, and is open to scrutiny from anyone that wants to go through it, you know? Seriously, parody levels with this guy, so I don't know how to just keep going, to just, IDK, just going to ignore it. Don't want to give it attention to this guy because it's beyond shameless. So, if that's the case, Liam, why are you making this Reddit post? If this is all true, I don't want to give this guy attention, I'm just going to ignore it. Maybe don't make this Reddit comment. How about you go to the little 3 dots on this post that you have here. You have a few extra options as a moderator of the subreddit. Just delete this post and move on and never talk about it. Doing this, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to give it attention, but I'm still giving it attention. Not wise. And then he says, obviously though, don't flag or report the video. It causes more trouble than good. There's far more legitimate things to criticize him over. Like what I said above, it's never good to get into reporting/flagging battle. Wow. So, I mean, some people might take issue with that comment because it seems like, he's only saying like, oh, well, it's only don't do it because it might negatively affect me, you know? But I think he's just saying because this person is like, or he's saying, I urge people to report the video. He's just like appealing to self-interest, basically saying like, hey guys, it's not a good idea. I don't think it's that deep. Now, I think we've got a few other bits to pull up here, okay? A few other clips before we get into watching some of the Chud stream from earlier, which I'm going to have to be careful with because he keeps saying the F slur in it. So, first of all, as it's not in a video, oh, it might have copyrighted music, but we'll play it anyway. Let's play the Giles edit quickly. Let's play the Giles edit. Okay. That's one of the videos from Twitter I tried to recreate for this, and what else we got? What else we got? Where's the Shamu? The Shamu one. So Liam also spoke about some cosplays he's been doing recently, and his future cosplay plans, guys. And Shamu's put together this helpful video, so even if you don't know the characters, you can see what he's dressing up as on screen.
I will show like short cosplay. I cosplayed as Cinema Roll.
Okay.
Cinema Roll. But I cosplayed as Cinema Roll and like a pseudo Misa thing, but it wasn't really that good of a cosplay. It's like a pseudo version of Misa. Liam Miku, Vin? Yeah, I definitely want to do a Miku cosplay.
Miku,
but
he wants to do a Miku?
Maybe a gender bent version or in between.
Oh,
I'm
in
not
between.
sure yet. I also want to cosplay as like the Vocaloid Rin and Lens too. Their outfits are so cool.
It's so cool.
I totally want to do that.
That's why. It's so
cool. I will show like that.
Their outfits are so cool. Their outfits are so cool. It's almost like yeah, it's almost like wanting to dress up as like Guts from Berserk, isn't it? It's almost like wanting to wear like the huge sick armor, you know? It's like it looks cool, you know? It's like basically the same thing. You know? It's like pretty much the same thing, I think, right? It's like wanting to dress up as like Darth Vader, you know, because it looks cool. You know, you're dressing up as Rin and Len because it looks cool. Like a Gundam. Oh, Optimus Prime. Looks cool. So again, the explanations here are just not satisfactory. Okay. What's the next step here? I think just onto the Chud stream, right? So guys, that was a great time to remind you, okay? 400 people watching, 40 likes on the stream, so it's 360 people, and please remember to press a thumbs up and clicking it, or pressing a thumbs up on the mobile device. That'd be hugely appreciated. If you want to take your support one step further, you can donate directly through a Stream Elements link in the pin chat message. You can also buy a membership to the channel, gift a membership to the channel, gift a whole bunch of memberships randomly throughout the chat, buy a super chat which will highlight a message and read it on TTS, or buy a super sticker, which is your YouTube image or GIF, let me heart in chat, I'll describe it to you. You can go to discord.gg/Kuihman, twitter.com/Kuihman, or reddit.com/r/Kuihman. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. Let's pull up the Chud stream from on Kick earlier. Do I have people watching on Twitch? It's probably best if I just save rather than sorry, isn't it? How many people do I have on Twitch right now? 4 people on Twitch. Guys, if you want those 4 people on Twitch, I recommend moving over to YouTube instead. Because we're going to kill the Twitch stream. Because Chud cannot control himself. Post Giles edit. Yep. So, Chud VOD. Chud VOD, where is it? Here's a Kick page, videos, stream. Here we go. Okay.
You know, you look, and I just need.
Oh wait, I remember. That's the thing. There is something I'm missing. There is something I'm missing. Dude, there was a clip I saw on Twitter of Loam talking about Chud a while ago. Oh man, where is it? Does anyone have this? Anyone know the clip I mean? It was on Twitter. Did anyone see this? I should have bookmarked it, man. Well, Chud and Liam have a shocking similarity in that I believe both Chud and Liam have hearted YouTube comments referring to them as bisexual. Okay, they've both, on their YouTube account, hearted, press the heart button on comments left on their channels that refer to them as bisexual. So there is a lot of similarity here. Where's this video, guys? There's a clip on Twitter of Loam talking about Chud from a few months ago. Does anyone have this? And the tweet said something like, if he doesn't condemn reporting the video, I swear to God, or some shit like that. It's ISTG. Some shit like that. Does anyone know this clip? It was on Twitter. It was going around everywhere. I saw it like 6 times last night, and now I can't see it because I didn't bookmark it. I tried searching. I can't see it. No, DK didn't. It's an old comment. It's a years ago comment. It's a years ago comment. Pre-DK comment. It was a reply under Critical Shogun's tweet. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my God.
That's, I actually have a post that I could go over this. I've had a number of people ask about this video because the thumbnail and title is like a blatant lie, and talked to the guy about it and just admitted like he doesn't care about lying. Like he's going to continue lying and he doesn't care about lying. And like was just shameless about it. So it's just like the 2 main people rose Malay, and that it's just like obvious lies for the sake of just like fucking with me. So yeah, I mean, yeah, that's just the case there, but we already went over all that. LMAO Chud a top tier troll with his titles. Yeah.
So this is the other thing, man. I understand it's like, on one hand, I get that it would be frustrating to deal with like the separation that happens between Chud and DK. You know, when you're on the receiving end of a thumbnail, it's like, well, DK did it. That's frustrating. But as much as that doesn't absolve Chud of any responsibility, the idea that you can load in this intention doesn't seem logical to me, right? DK has put up a thumbnail saying Liam Donovan's pedophile past because Liam Donovan is now a more popular name than Lyrics. And DK wants that video to perform well, so he's given it an inflammatory title. So it's not about, oh, I'm going to write Liam Donovan here and attach it to pedophilia because I need to make sure that Loam is always constantly followed by the allegations against him. It's not what it's about. It is equally explained, if not more so, by the incentive that already exists, by the obvious incentive. Liam Donovan is your new name. It's the name everyone knows now. It's the bigger name. You have way more subs as that name. And it was about your history of liking lolly artwork or whatever. I assume. I haven't seen the video, so I actually don't know. Now, I understand Chud would say Liam's not a pedophile, and has said many times he's not a pedophile. But does that make it a straight-up lie to refer to someone's previous history of being interested in lolly as a pedophilic past? Not really, because Chud has already bought in and stated this idea that lolly is pedophilic. Lolly is pedophilic itself. So to refer to it as a pedophilic past, as much as, yes, it's inflammatory and may give some people the wrong impression, it's not an outright lie. Selling it as an outright lie is not, like, it doesn't quite hit. It, like, you can see very obviously that it's within, well, not very obviously, I can see why Liam's upset about it, but it is within sort of like the bounds of truth for the takes that are being given. You know, obviously I don't think it's a pedophilic past. But I'm way less, you know, zealous on all the, you know, lolly shit than most of these commentary retards. So what can you expect? I don't think it's that far out of the bounds.
Yeah, talk to him about it though, but just
let's not talk about his pedophilic past and talk more about his pedophilic future.
Yeah, because that guy, okay, that guy was accused, that Chud Logic person, was accused, considering, like, he also got accused of being a, what was it? What did he do? He was talking to his, like, a 17-year-old who lied about their age. So he was being accused of being a pedophile. And then, like, he's just doing this. So, but, yeah, I don't know. He already admitted he doesn't care about lying, so. But moving forward, so it's just good. Yeah, it's just very, very cool. Very nice.
Yeah, so this is, again, another statement about this private conversation. And we're going to get in some of Loam's communication skills in this VOD. As we go over these DMs. Let's have a look.
Need to get a bit refreshed and a bit, you know, ready for whatever the next step of this is. Very frustrating. Happening, and it's like, oh, God. Where's all the men talking about what's happening? Oh, I'm jealous. Oh, right, okay. Yeah, dude, it's such a weird. I've seen. Yeah, I mean, dude, you'll see when I get to the DMs and stuff that, you know, I feel like I've been quite gracious with Liam in spite of some provocation. So it's very disheartening that someone decides to lie about you or, you know, totally misrepresent like what's happened about something. It's very frustrating. Exactly. I am the man to talk about the TikTok drama. I am that guy. So, yeah. Right. Okay, I think we will just get into it. Might as well just get into it. I mean, this is very free. Today is going to be very free-flowing. This is not like a sort of super thought-through kind of like segment. Obviously, I had a bit of a think about what I want to say about this. But you will be... Sorry, I just burped. You will be watching this twice if you're going to watch the normal stream tomorrow, okay? You will be watching this twice. Because this is going to be the uncensored version, obviously, on Kick.
I legit to AFK for 2 seconds. I got back in time, thank God.
And then I'll do a more censored coverage for like a segment tomorrow, okay? So, let's get into this, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into this. So, what's happened? Well, obviously, as I'm sure you're aware, okay, there has been, you know, some drama recently in which, you know, former commentary person, Lyrics, also known as Liam Donovan, okay? So, Lyrics used to be in with the commentary guys, and he used to be like one of the guys, basically. Now, before my time, or before I really got in with the commentary guys, he did have this like kind of like lolicon drama where he was like criticized for engaging with lolicon posts on Twitter, right? And that caused him some controversy, and I think he ended up like leaving the internet. But then he came back and he covered like the Super Mega drama. And, you know, he was on the side of they're lying about Super Mega. But I think because he had this kind of like controversy around him, people didn't really want to kind of mix with him that much. But, you know, I kind of appreciated that he was talking about that. And then over time, he just became kind of like one of the commentary guys. And I think
the Kai Joma is so funny, man. It wouldn't be funny if it was like totally unironic. But I just heard Kathy sitting there going, Kai Joma, Kai Joma, Kai Joma, Kai Joma. It just made me fucking laugh, dude.
I think people kind of like were willing to move on from the lolicon stuff. I personally always felt the lolly stuff was like, you know, rough but overblown. I don't think it was like, you know, career ending necessarily. Like, he was a young lad, you know, he was liking some posts of some, you know, weird young looking anime characters, lolicon stuff. And he had some particularly suspicious posts, right? He had some particularly suspicious posts. Stop being so generous. Guys, I'm just setting up, okay? God, you guys are desperate for blood. Don't worry, we'll get there, okay? We'll get there. And also, the other thing to bear in mind as well is I would not go back on a take that I've previously given without substantive information changing. Like, I've spoken to people and said, I think the lolicon stuff was overblown. I can't all of a sudden be like, yeah, man, look at, like, I've got to be reasonable. I've got to be fair to my previous.
Yes, you can make chest carving jokes here, yes. Now, I do believe that is untrue, however. I don't actually believe that Turkey Tom carved into his chest. Because I think I've got a better understanding of the story now, you know? Because I thought Turkey Tom, you know, I thought it was just Turkey Tom was straight up cucked. But obviously the truth is he was like cheating on Kai first. And then she sort of like cheated with Lyrics to get back or something. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Or like because he cheated, not necessarily to get back, but because he cheated, they broke up for a bit and she went and hung out with him and I don't know, man. But yeah, he wasn't really cast out of the commentary group because of the lolly stuff. He was cast out because of the Kai stuff, I believe. Where'd that rumor come from? I don't know if Lyrics lied about it or if Salvo lied about it. I'm not sure.
Takes and consistent with my previous takes, otherwise it's exceptionally dishonest from my perspective. So yeah, I do think it was kind of overblown. And in any case, he ended up getting kind of accepted more into the fold. And he just became like one of the commentary guys. Like, he'd talk about dramas in kind of edgy ways, provocative ways.
Laughing thinking about an Alibaba.
No, I think Salvo said he made it up at one point. I'm not 100% sure.
Hot Topic gift cards for top surgery.
Thank you for the $10, Shimley. Huge appreciate it. Thanks so much.
He would joke about rape. He had his own version of like the rape review. And, you know, he'd laugh at sort of edgy jokes and all this kind of stuff, right? Like, he's just a normal commentary guy, you know, like normal young lad doing commentary, edgy take, edgy libtard is probably the easiest way to describe him. And then, all of a sudden, almost
Sorry,
overnight,
Jim, I'll read your TTS joke. Laughing thinking about an Alibaba Express 10 muses offering $300 in Robux and Hot Topic gift cards for top surgery. There you go.
He like switched and he started doing this music review stuff. And I think commentary viewers kind of noticed that he'd lost his taste for doing commentary, which is fair enough. And then he switched, and it's fine to switch content and move in a different direction. But it was this bizarre kind of like almost overnight switch. Like, he totally switched up from being like edgy, willing to laugh about certain jokes and stuff like that, to just being like woke and soy, to put it very simply. And I think people found it a bit disconcerting because it was like, all of a sudden, he's completely changed who he is as a person.
See, I don't think it's quite as 180 as Chud's saying here, because it was initially a little bit more tepid. He has gone further down that line, it seems like. I don't think it's quite as 180 as Chud's making it. It is 180 in terms of the whole thing, but it's not as sharp. It's not as sharp of a turn as Chud is saying. I think we just haven't seen a lot of it.
You know? And obviously, it's something that gets brought up in this, so I might as well just bring it up now. Like, I'm not against people changing, and obviously, I myself have changed in the 6 years that I've been doing this. You know, I did used to knock about with more lefty crowds. You know? Yes, I did flirt with some back in the day, okay? And the thing is, it's not for me to determine whether that's honest. It's for you to determine whether that's honest.
Dude.
You know, I can sit here and plead my case all I want. But, you know, it's up to you to determine whether you think the
Liam
change
listened
that
to
you've
Cosplay
seen, or the, you
Girlfriend
know,
and
the
it changed his whole life. Fleet Street Boys win again.
Thank you for the $5 Ian Puck. Thank you. Appreciate it.
movement that you've seen and my views on things are grifting, honest, whatever you want to say about them. That's up to you, you know? But what I would say is, I think that when there is like a sharp, quick shift in someone's content and then also their personality and, you know, the kind of edginess and so on, people are going to question that and they're going to think, well, why is he kind of like going like this? Like, not, you know, normally you would expect someone to kind of slowly drift to a different perspective over time. You know, and that's how I characterize, you know, my own kind of journey, if you like, on the internet. Whereas with him, it's like he's going this way and then he's going that way. And you're like, what the fuck? What? And then all of a sudden he's completely shifting on, you know, not just like his views, but seemingly like his principles as well. You know? Like the principle of it's okay to laugh about more or less whatever you want, I'm pretty sure is what he lived by, because he would joke about rape and shit like that all the time. And then all of a sudden he's getting like super precious about edgy humor and edgy jokes. And you just think, well, when that happens, it's like, who is the real person here? Who is the real person? Was edgy commentary lyrics the real person?
I think it is, you know, it's a bit both, right? He likes edgy jokes. Probably still is a little bit edgy in private, but doesn't want to be seen as edgy. He doesn't want clips out there of him on the internet talking to 15-year-old girls on Omegle, or telling rape victims that they deserved it, or, you know, he doesn't want to be seen that way. He wants to be seen as, like, you know, a boy wife. You know, that's how he wants to be perceived.
Or is Liam Donovan, the music guy, the real person? It's like a chameleon changing their colors, you know? So yeah, that's kind of like laying a baseline. And obviously the other thing to comment on too is that Lyrics and Turkey Tom were in some sort of bizarre love triangle with this woman called Kai. And I don't know all the ins and outs of it. It's obviously a bit of a soft spot or topic in the commentary community because of all the fucking personalities.
No way the guy with DM2 mad, are you alive as a
like,
lolicon? Skull emoji,
like
skull emoji.
Kind of like flitted between Turkey Tom and Lyrics.
Hey men, and the men are pigs. 6,700 years? Take these straps off and say that again.
She's with Lyrics, and still is with Lyrics, and recently she was on a Liam Donovan stream. And yeah, it's like that potentially has had an influence too. So that's kind of the setting the stage really for kind of where we are now. Now, more recently, in the last couple of days, there's been this kind of fresh thing that's happened where Lyrics appeared on stream.
Guys, I'll get that one there. Yeah, I missed something. So, you know, Hey Men and the Men are Pigs, right? You know this one? Hey Men and They Are Pigs. Hey Men and They Are Pigs. You know this one? You know Hey Men and They Are Pigs? Where is it, man? Here we are. Then there's this, okay?
For all charges listed before this court, you are hereby sentenced to 6,700 years in federal prison.
6,700 years? Take these straps off and say it again!
For all federal offenses listed, this court sentences you to 6,200 years in federal prison.
6,200 years? Take these chains off and say it again!
For all charges brought before this court, you are hereby sentenced to 7,600 years in federal prison.
7,600 years? Remove these straps and say it again!
For all federal crimes presented to this court, you are sentenced to 7,100 years in federal prison.
For all offenses before You are sentenced to 8,000 years in federal prison.
8,000 years! Take these chains off and say it again!
Yeah, these are awesome, man. These are awesome. And yeah, boomers like unironically think these are like real. There's like people asking like Grok if is it real and shit, man. It's awesome. 6,700 years. Take these streets. I would say that again.
In makeup. And it wasn't like a bit of eyeliner. It wasn't like emo masculine makeup. It was like winged eyeliner, blush, and some would argue lipstick or lip gloss, although that is disputed. Okay? So obviously people were making comparisons to things like Bo Blacks, and there's been coverage of it, and people have been talking about it and so on, you know.
Yeah, when AI is used to some hyper-specific, retarded joke that makes good use of it, it's fine. Like when it's the cat playing the fucking banjo, it's like, okay. Awesome. When it's the little corgi, and the guy's walking past it, and he kicks it in the face, and it's like found something down, he kicks it in the face. Great use of AI. 6,700 years, take these chains off and say that again. Great use of AI. Okay. The chain shit is funny, man. Fuck you, Styler. The chain shit is funny.
You get the gist, right? So, I obviously covered it, and I made a video about it, okay? As you would expect me to do.
Styler just hates it because he grew up with most of those guys, okay?
This is, you know, an interesting story, I think.
That shit's real in the hood. You guys
it's Bo Blacks-esque, you know? It's Bo Blacks-esque. Obviously, Bo Blacks was a massive drama, so sort of calling back to that. People love the fucking Remember Berry shit, so it's like a nice connection you can make and so on. So yeah, that's kind of where we are, really. So I made a video about it, okay? And this video ended up getting posted on the lyrics or Liam Donovan music subreddit, okay? And let's have a quick look at that. This man just gets so jealous, it's so sad. 2 hours talking about one unimportant thing is just creepy at this point.
Wow.
He really has an obsession with some people, including Liam. I urge people to report the video.
Yeah, dude, the Pikachu getting butchered one wasn't funny. What was funny about that is all the people tagging Nintendo and going, like, giving, like, the script for, like, basically, you know, for, like, what you would put in a lawsuit to show damages. I believe this to be the original work of Nintendo and an official licensed product. And it's affecting my decision to purchase future Nintendo product. Like, that's funny. That's funny.
I mean, yeah, I actually know Liam, right? We used to knock about together. So, obviously, him putting makeup on a stream...
The black and white AI baby, what, the one, like, laughing and covering its mouth. That's hard. That's hard.
His previous behavior, that, yeah, I've got some level of personal interest in it. But what's really frustrating about this take is this obsession idea. I have been more than fucking reasonable with this bro.
Yo, I disavow.
I have been more than reasonable with this guy. And now his fans are calling me fucking obsessed. Bro, I could have cut fucking 20 videos about this fucking loser over the past 6 months if I wanted to. Okay? But I didn't, because do you know what? Do you know what the honest truth is, right? As much as I've covered him here and there, I didn't want to fucking...
This is recreated purely for journalistic purposes, okay? I'm watching this purely for journalistic purposes. I do not avow any other language used for the subject of this video. In fact, I think it's despicable. I think gay people are just the same as the rest of us, really. Love is love, guys. Love is love. You ever seen that Macklemore song?
You know, fuck up his shit. I didn't want him to be in a position where he's getting totally fucking raped because of his past. And if he wants to move on and do his thing, then fair enough. It's so fucking ridiculous, bro, that people are acting like I'm fucking obsessed with Liam. When I could have cut a bunch of videos about this fucking loser, but I didn't! Because I genuinely was like, if he's moving on, good luck to him. Okay? And also, I'm pretty sure at points I've said on stream, he
wears the hat when he's having a bad hair day. Yeah.
Good for him. Sorry, one sec. Sorry. So it's exceptionally irritating that his fucking fan base are acting like I'm obsessed. And even this, I probably would have talked about it in passing as a funny thing that happened. Okay? And I probably would have shown...
6,700 reports. Take this awful New Balance hat off and say IT again.
Thank you, Jimberly, for the $5. Thank you.
And stuff like this. Because it's funny. Because it's funny. Where is it? This here. Watch it to see what evidence he had of Liam being trans, but he spent the entire time calling him the arseler and saying he was queer. Genuinely a disgusting individual with an equally as bad fan base.
The fan base is much worse, actually.
Problem? So I thought that was quite funny. Anyway, this is the kind of thing that I would have done with this, okay, had it been the case that this is all that happened. Whatever, it's a funny thing, or whatever, right? But for some reason, Liam has seen fit to respond. Now, I don't mind if Liam wants to respond to this, okay? And you will see, I have been exceptionally gracious about Liam responding to his community about things. You'll see in a moment, okay? But the thing is, he crossed the line from just talking to his community about whatever the fuck he wants to talk about to totally smearing me for no fucking reason, bro. I get talking shit about me. I get having a bit of a fucking whatever. But lying about me? Absolutely not, dude. Absolutely fucking not. I don't care, okay, if this fucking queer thinks he's managed to escape from the commentary community, okay? Don't fucking lie about me, you loser. Because I will correct the fucking record, dude. Every time. If you try and fucking misrepresent me. Holy shit, dude. It's so irritating, bro. Go and do your shit. Why are you even fucking responding to this? Just delete it from your fucking subreddit if you got that much of a problem with it. Why fucking lie about me, dude? When I've got the fucking evidence to prove that you're lying, dude. So stupid. Anyway, this was his post. So this is what he posted. Okay? Yeah, I'm not really sure how to go about if I want posts like this up, because it just gives more attention to a guy who has admitted and outright said to me that he lies about me and will continue to lie about me when I talk to him in DMs. Now let me ask you this, guys, okay? I've been doing this a long time. I've been doing this 6 years, okay? Now, first of all, do you think that I'm someone that is comfortable with just lying about someone flatly? Do you think that's me, first of all? And secondly, even if you thought that was true, do you think I would fucking say to someone in DMs, I have lied about you and will continue to lie about you? I mean, just from a pragmatic perspective. Just from a fucking pragmatic perspective. Why the fuck would I admit to that in DMs? What an insane fucking admission that would just get used against you. If you thought it was funny, yes. Okay, well, anyway. I wasn't quite getting the reaction that I hoped, okay? But you know what I'm trying to get at, right? Like, I know there's a bit of a meme about it, but like, I'm not in the business of just making shit up about people whole cloth, okay? I'm not going to just make some crazy shit up. There might be some provocative...
Well, yeah, he's saying he exaggerates comedy. He's saying he wouldn't lie about someone flatly. He doesn't just say shit that he doesn't believe. He might exaggerate, be inflammatory for the sake of comedy and effect. But the gist is true. That's what he's saying, right?
Presentation, which will come up, or something like that. But there's always like a kernel of truth in it, and I'm never just going to completely push complete bogus bullshit, fabricated shit about people. And that is what he is suggesting is happening. And not only that, but I'm admitting to that too. So obviously completely fucking outrageous claims that this fucking loser is making to me. You know? Very irritating. Very irritating. Continuing on. And now it's gotten to a point where the content is just me changing my appearance and investigating whether I'm trans or not. Lol. Okay, I mean, changing your appearance is like slapping a bunch of makeup on in a disconcerting fashion. But nonetheless, we don't need to dwell on that. It's the most pathetic thing ever, to be honest. This guy is 40 years old, and this is what he does for a living, which is even more ironic, because just a few years ago, he was called a chaser. Because he was in the DMs of multiple trans people being sexual Lamau, one of who was 17.
So here's a key difference, right? Chud still gets called a chaser, and he kind of rolls with it. But Liam's never going to roll with the jokes about him. I don't think Liam's regular rolling with jokes about him. I don't think he's that type of guy, really. He's not just gonna, you know, joke about being a fucking pedophile. He's not gonna make, you know, some fucking lolly reference. He's not gonna, you know, he just doesn't. He's just not the sort of guy that can roll with those personal slights. I don't think. It is a bit of a UK-US thing, I fear. Yeah, a little bit.
But lied about their age. They were 18. So there's a few things there to talk about, okay? There's a few things there to talk about. People in chat saying, no, he hasn't. No, he hasn't. What are you on about, dude? What are you on about? Listen, yes, we all get it, okay? Yes, I flirted with some a few years ago. Do you want to know how long ago that was, by the way? Do you want to know how long ago that was? It was brought forward in 2021. But the actual DMs are from 2020, bro. They're from 2020. They're from 2020, dude. We're talking nearly 6 years ago at this point. Like around March 2020. It's like so long ago at this point. And I get it. People like to bring it up because it's like an easy little fucking attack against me or whatever. Okay? Right? But it's like, bro, we're talking about nearly coming up on 6 years ago that this fucking happened, dude. And we're talking about Liam's behavior last year, or you know, a year and a half ago, say, right? Okay. And the thing that's really like, look, I get it, right? The 40-year-old thing, whatever. Okay. If you want to fucking go at me for my age, so be it. But what's so funny about that, right? I'm 39. Okay, I'm 39. When I was 37 and 38, this fucking wretch was hanging about with me. He was talking to me privately. He was fucking hopping on Discord calls with me to talk about drama. So, hang on a minute, mate. So all of a sudden, my age is some big issue. Okay. But like literally, when I was fucking 37, 38, you were fucking hanging about with me. It's like so obnoxious and dishonest. This guy's such a fucking wretched, pathetic liar, man. Acting like my age is a problem. When it's obviously not, because when I was 37 and 38, we were literally in calls together, talking about drama. He was reacting to my content. He was talking about my content. He was doing coverage of stuff that I was involved in and talking about.
Yeah, exactly. It's all well and good to be like, oh, you're a pathetic old guy, but Liam was, you know. He was in the clubhouse, you know. He was in the clubhouse. He was perfectly happy with it when he felt like he might have something to benefit from it, you know. That's the problem. That's the problem.
And vice versa too. And it never came up. Never came up once. Only now.
Chud used to flirt with transgenders unironically. Well, he could try and claim it was ironically, but I don't think anyone would believe him.
Right? Only now that there's videos that are coming out that I'm criticising him or whatever, all of a sudden now my age is some big problem.
You will never escape that you had gay thought.
Yeah, it's true. This is a huge classic Chud thing. This is like Chud's first big viewership boost was Destiny covering him being accused of grooming a 17-year-old trans person who lied about being 18.
6 years ago.
Thank you for the kicks. So it's obviously just so dishonest. It's such fucking bullshit that my age is an issue because it never was before. When we were friendly, when we were hopping on calls together. When we were, you know, talking about the same dramas and bouncing off each other and stuff like that, right? Why has it not come up before, Lyrics? You know, I'm not sat here all of a sudden changing my fucking tune on the lolly stuff, right? Because I've actually got some fucking principles and it would be...
Chud, ancient trans history logic. The guy who booked a flight to Vietnam today and once again said Thailand accidentally. Real? Where's the image? Where's the image? This is Chud guy. This is Chud when he goes east. Chud when he goes east.
Exceptionally dishonest for me to have previously, when we were on better terms, you know, I've defended you on that because I genuinely believe that was the right take, to all of a sudden change it now. It's such a dishonest thing to do. Lyrics clearly has got no fucking qualms with that though. And he's acting like all of a sudden my age is some fucking issue when we were literally knocking about together when I was 37, 38. It's fucking outrageous, dude. It's totally outrageous. You know, if someone from the start is like, old man, unk, you're covering drama, loser, then yeah, you've got a consistent perspective there. Fair enough.
Yeah, he knew they were trans.
But this guy is full of it. He's not got a problem with my fucking age. And he's just saying this to appeal to his teenage audience.
They were neo-pronouns.
He's trying to hand wave me away as some old weirdo that's talking about this. Bro, we were joking about rape together just 2 years ago, dude. Ridiculous. And yet he calls me a grifter for changing within the span of being 21 to 22 when he has this drastic change in his mid-30s, going from being sexual with the same trans people he now makes fun of for content. Here's the thing, right? I could be flirting with a right now in DMs, okay? And it wouldn't make any difference as to whether or not I can mock them. What a retarded concept, bro. Dude, okay? I'm actually not interested in trans people, okay? I'm not chasing anyone, right? But if I'm flirting with a woman now, right now...
No, he's not. If you guys just blind. If you guys haven't figured out from Chud's streams that he's obviously talking to some bird at the minute, then I'm sorry, you've got a mental disability. If you haven't, this guy is one of those people who just cannot help himself, but constantly like hint, you know? He's like so proud of himself that he's talking to a woman, and he like has to constantly hint, man. It's so funny. He's like even here he starts doing it a bit.
Does that mean that I can't fucking mock women? Does that mean it's a problem for me to mock women? Like, he's too retarded to even make the argument, okay? The actual argument you would make is about my change in political perspective on some of these topics. And as I say, that's up for the audience to decide whether or not they feel that my change in perspective on certain topics over the course of a 5-year time span covering these topics is genuine or not. That's up for the audience to decide at the end of the day. But it literally makes no fucking odds as to whether you're flirting with a particular identity of people who you are then mocking, like, that day, let alone over the course of fucking nearly 6 years. Anyway, it's seriously parody levels with this guy. So, I don't know, just going to ignore it and don't want to give attention to it because this guy is beyond shameless. So, yeah, I mean, my point with Liam is that it seems quite transparent that he's had a very swift, quick change in not just beliefs, but seemingly principles that have happened over a very, very short time span that seem to coincide with him moving towards a new genre of YouTube, like the music YouTube side of things, which does tend to have a lower, and for want of a better word, more woke and soy audience. So that to me is the difference. That to me is the difference. But at the end of the day, you guys can determine that. Now, there is one thing that I will address more conclusively, and I've already leaked these DMs on Twitter, but I'll go over them now. Okay? I'll go over them now. He outright said to me that he lies about me and will continue to lie about me when I talk to him in DMs. Should we have a little look at those DMs and you can see what...
Do you think he's actually attracted to transgender people? I think he has it in him to be attracted to transgender people. I think people have like a certain amount of attraction in them for different groups and they can sort of like foster it. And Chud used to spend a lot of time sitting there looking at anime representations of gender bent, transgender, mix, you know, futa, femboy, all this type of shit. And as you engage more and more with that, you sort of like normalize the idea of having sex with a man of some form to yourself, and you're more interested, I think. I think you can nurture those sorts of attractions, nurture those interests a little bit. It's like how Mr. Girl talks about being gayer in cities. You know, if you've ever seen those stories where he says about how he never, when he lived in rural areas, he never once thought about having sex with a man. But then he goes into cities and he's around a bunch of liberals who talk about it. And he's in gay bars, and all of a sudden, it's like there's more of a, you know, there's always the capacity for it, but you sort of, you know, due to opportunity, environment, the type of interests you're thinking about, there's a bit more of an openness that's developed to different ideas, if you know what I mean. Are you saying duh, but like most people just go like, you know, they literally just go like, you know, you're straight bi or gay. You're straight bi or gay. Like, most people literally do that. Most people literally will sit there and do that and act like it's, like, so fucking, you know. No, sometimes, at some points, people's life, they're bi, and at some points, they're straight, to be honest. At some points, they're gay. You know, that can happen. Some people go through their whole life and they're totally straight. Some people go through their whole life and they're totally gay. But the idea that it's so defined that people don't sort of shift around the edges is kind of retarded. It's kind of low IQ. It's a little bit low IQ. It's a little bit low IQ.
What you think about this exchange, okay? So I did mention this before. There was a time a few weeks ago where Liam Donovan, Lyrics, came into my chat and said that he'd sent me a DM. Okay? So I was in the middle of streaming, and I noted that he'd sent me a DM, and so I started responding to him. So this is actually what the exchange looks like, okay? Wanted to forward this to you, so it's not like a surprise if you catch wind of it, but yeah, I've been getting a bunch of posts for a while about this video, and have my thoughts on it. And you can see here, there's a thumbnail which says Lolicon Lyrics with his old look, and then an arrow to his new look with Liam Donovan and then fraud question mark, right? And then the title is Liam Donovan Lyrics is trying to hide his pedophilic past. So that is the DK presentation of that video, okay? Now,
I remember one time I basically had that conversation about sexuality being a spectrum with two very woke, like, I don't know how I describe it. They were probably like leftists. The girl was a feminist. It was one girl and one guy. The girl was a feminist who grew her armpit hair out and would post, like, you know, arms up photos on social media. And the guy was like some, you know, total queer, you know, performative Dickers style male with a gay fucking floppy haircut and queer shirts that look like they should be worn by some fucking old dude. Do you know what I mean? And but basically, because I was talking to them, you know, I'm quite an antagonistic person. I'm a little bit antagonistic with conversations. So it was more coming out in a, like, you're not born gay kind of way. That's sort of basically what I was saying. But yeah, they didn't like that. They really did not enjoy that. That was a party when I was like 21. I think it was like during one of the summers of COVID. And yeah, they really fucking hated me. They really fucking hated me. But I was like, yeah, you probably have some sort of like slight genetic disposition towards certain sexualities. And your kind of like primary sexuality is probably set in childhood through childhood development. I don't think you can really like decide not to be gay. But it's not like you're born gay. You're not just like born gay. It's not like you're just gay and that's it. That's not really how it works, is it? That's delusional. Otherwise, it would be like 100% heritable, right? It would be like, well, twin studies would show absolute correlation, but they do show an increased correlation, but it's not, you know, perfect. Yeah, the born gay shit is crazy, Cope. It's crazy, Cope.
I've got to be honest with you. I can't actually recall what I said in that video. Okay? And it could be that there is some incongruence between the presentation and what I say, and that is simply a product of DK doing the thumbnail.
Yeah,
and
exactly,
titling.
exactly. Attraction isn't, you don't have like control over attraction perfectly, like maybe a little bit around the edges, but you can't just like change your attractions. So you don't have like put control over it, but it's not inherent. It's not inherent. You're not born that way, you know. You're not born gay. It's me, Kuihman. I'm a 26-year-old guy from the gay district of Birmingham. And my hobbies are playing Sonic games, drinking out of impossibly tiny cups, and arguing with queers at parties. So like I'm fucking awesome? So you mean I'm like fucking awesome? That's like fucking awesome. Arguing with queers at parties is based. Saying just like, you know, milquetoast takes in a way that will really annoy very progressive people at parties and get you into arguments with them is actually awesome. That's actually awesome and very personally satisfying, even if it annoys everyone else. Even if it upsets the host. Even if they bring it up to you like all the time onwards and all that. Those people fucking hated you. Even if it's awesome. It's cool.
As always, I take full responsibility for what's on there, okay? And on top of that as well, I'm a reasonable guy. I'm a reasonable guy, okay? Whilst this is a provocative title and thumbnail, okay, I do not think it is completely out of the realms of you know, the reality to frame it in this way. However, if it's a problem, I'm willing to have a conversation, okay? So him approaching this with me, my thought process is, what's he looking for? What does he want here? Maybe we can talk about it and figure something out. That's my kind of entry into this, which you'll see in a sec, okay? Yes, in the past, I have changed titles and thumbnails.
He hasn't gone to Thailand yet.
There was ages ago at this point, someone contacted me and said, hey, you've put the thumbnail up like this, and there's people from my real life that are contacting me about it. Could you change it? And we changed it.
That's awesome.
You know, there's been multiple times where a title and or thumbnail has been changed. And I'm still open to it. I'm still open to it. Well, no, it's not about being, well, you can say I'm raped. It's sometimes just understanding that what could be a funny joke or a meme, okay, could be like a problem for someone, and you've got to just kind of be reasonable about it if it is quite extreme. And you know,
I mean, yeah, the born gay thing is pretty clearly like a political, rhetorical flourish to like convey the fact that it's not something you just choose so that people don't hate gay people as much. That's basically it, you know. It's like the whole male-female brain trans thing.
So I'm open to having a discussion and seeing, you know, what needs to happen. Because the other thing to bear in mind with this as well is like, at this point, you know, I've not really covered lyrics that much, you know? So I'm not really like looking to like bury him and fuck him over. And I'm like, you know, if this is really causing him a problem, then yeah, we can fucking figure something out. But anyway, nonetheless, continuing on, okay, continuing on. So he's put this post in. Yeah, I've had a number of people ask about this video, unfortunately, because the thumbnail and title is a blatant lie, purposely made to give my new followers a bad impression. The video is just reacting to
the male-female brain thing isn't actually a perfect analog, because that is actually referring to a specific piece of research, but it is sort of similar. It's almost like, you know, I guess it's more like the idea that there's like a true gender that people have, right? And it's not just like, you know, this, Dude, how do you even explain this? Like, some people have feelings of gender internally, but broadly gender is just like a lens of analysis to categorize the behaviors that seem to be exhibited by either males or females. Right? Behaviors and secondary, sort of like, you know, not secondary sex characteristics, but you know what I mean? Like, but and you don't, the idea that some trans person, deep down, they're a woman, you know? I don't buy that. It may be that that is the best thing for them to live as a woman and transition to being a woman and whatever could be the best thing for them. I don't think that means that you're divining some like truth about the like core of what they are, you know. It's just like a psychological thing. It's just like, do I feel like I fit in with this cultural thing? And is it causing me distress?
That happened when she told provable lies that she's admitted to. And I've talked about all that on stream when it happened. So yeah, it's made as purposeful bait to create posts like what you're making right now. I mean, I wouldn't say it's to create bait to create posts like this. It's
what if I told you this picture of Mike from Monsters
DK
Inc. doesn't
it would be
conform
very
to
funny
that.
to present it in this way. I don't think he's thought.
Thank you, Tom.
Oh
Foolery.
yes, if
Thank
I do
you.
this,
That's
it's
a
end up
deep
getting
cut.
posted on Lyrics' subreddit. It's like just fucking DK being DK. Again, I take responsibility.
Who are you referring to here, Chud or Liam? I'm not being disrespectful or anything. I really promise you this. But do you think maybe he was abused sexually as a kid? Is that about Chud or Liam?
But it's just to say that the intent is not, oh yeah, let's get it on the subreddit and then it will fuck him over. You know, my genuine perspective is, you know, I don't. If he genuinely is having issues off of this, we can find a solution that works for him. That means we still get to keep the video up in a way that, you know, doesn't completely walk back the flavor of what's happening, if that makes sense, right? But the intent is not, let's get something on a subreddit to fuck him over. That's not the fucking idea here. In spite of what he says. Anyway, I don't know if I should make a big post on this subreddit just clarifying it or address it like this. But yeah, of course it's annoying when someone knowingly lies about you, which especially doesn't...
Chud? Because it can cause people to act out in weird ways later on in life.
Makes sense, because this guy's been accused of being a pedophile before multiple times, for being like 37, talking to an 18-year-old who ended up being 17 but lied about her age during COVID. So given the fact that he knows it's frustrating to deal with people lying about him, in like the craziest, most reputation-destroying way, I don't know why he engages in the same behavior. So he's sending me this. My thought process is, okay, well, if it's causing him problems...
Wait, Liam went to private Catholic school? Dude, I'm putting the pieces together.
A conversation and figure something out. So nonetheless, continuing on. Don't think I'm saying anything unreasonable or even antagonistic by bringing up your allegations. Just a double standard, but if I'm mistaken, let me know.
I don't even mean he was molested. Yeah. It's just like the way he acts does make a little bit more sense now. The sort of like difficulty expressing himself and meekness and sudden throwing himself into gay shit when he's an adult. Like that makes a lot of sense.
Start anything, just needed to address it to people after multiple times it was brought up. Hey man, that was more my editor popping off, but obviously it's my channel. I don't really have an issue with this. I wouldn't have even known about it if you hadn't sent it to me. So my thought process here is he's put in a Reddit post.
Dude, Dickers is already out every weekend. Soho. Sniffing poppers. Getting his fucking asshole gaped in fucking club toilets. Okay, it's not Dickers' future. Dickers is like so, you know, far down the fucking pit. Okay.
To his community, I don't really care that much about this. Like, it seems like he's approaching me to say, oh, I've said this stuff about you, is that okay? And obviously, the other thing you need to bear in mind with this too,
getting bombed on the regular.
I'm not looking to endlessly talk about something that happened in 2020.
The guy's going fucking... Dude, what's the big gay club in London called? I can't remember. Whatever that big gay club in London's called. He's going there, getting his fucking batty ripped open.
I'm not looking to fucking argue the toss and debate a controversy I was involved in 2020. I'm so beyond it now. I literally do not fucking care if it gets brought up in some way. Like, fucking Noah Samson brought it up in a video one time. And it was obviously annoying to fucking deal with that. But whatever, I'm past it. You know, I'm just looking to fucking move forward, as I have been, with my fucking life, my channel,
heaven.
My content,
yeah, that is what I mean, Bilbo.
So it's like, you know, obviously I don't want to constantly get roped back into endlessly talking about something that happened in 2020. So my perspective here is like, whatever, dude, you do you know, and so on. And I thought that would be the end of it, because it seemed like he just wanted to let me know that he'd said this. But then he continued. Okay, I hear you. I of course know the whole DK meme, but if Noah Samson made a video with a title,
Saw Dickers in the club. I just saw I just walked past Dickers in the club. It's a gay club. Don't ask why I'm here.
Because Donovan has pedophilic past, and you obviously would be mad and call him out for lying about you. Would you buy the excuse of, oh, that wasn't me, it wasn't my editor? Like, it wouldn't change anything, is all I'm saying. Like, I of course am fine with you criticising, shitting on me, insulting, etc. But I know you don't think about this about me. And like, I'm going under my real name now, and to just have one of those top videos show up as Liam Donovan hides his pedo past, especially when you know it's just a bait lie, just kind of fucked up, I guess. So at this point, I'm thinking, well, what the fuck do you want? Like, what do you want me to do about this? Exactly. Okay? So, also, the other thing as well is like, is it a lie to say he's got a pedophilic past? Like, I feel like the lolicon stuff was overblown, as I've said. But he does have a lolicon controversy in his past. That's just a reality. That is a fact. He was embroiled in a controversy involving lolicon in his career. And again, I'm not looking to fucking argue the toss about this, bro. It's fucking 2020 this happened with me. I don't want to argue about my alleged pedophilic past with someone who used to fucking have a controversy about lolicon. I do not care. I just want a solution, bro. So I ask him, I say to him, I mean, what are you looking for here? Okay? I say, what are you looking for here? Because my thought process at this stage is he's going to ask for a title change.
So, yeah. This is Liam struggling with communication. Because Chud lays it down. What are you looking for? What do you want? That is your opportunity to be explicit. Right? If at that point, you are not making explicit what you want, you cannot assume they're going to pick up on it. Because as far as the other person can see, they have offered you that opportunity to express what you want. And you have not expressed anything. So you must not want anything. But like I said, Loam cannot just go straight for the fucking point. He cannot just say what he means. He cannot just be like, Chud, do you want to do anal? You know, he has to go, oh, you know, I've heard the male G-spot's actually in the asshole. I heard it's actually in the prostate. You know, he has to say that. You know, he can't just say, do you want to do anal? If you're coming in now, that's going to make no sense. That's a callback to an analogy I used earlier. Okay, guys, it's actually a great reference back. But if you're coming in now, I understand it seems like I'm just bringing up Chud and Liam doing anal out of nowhere. But that was actually a great callback.
A thumbnail change or something like
40
that.
Minutes.
Okay. So I'm thinking, sure, I'm open to that. If you want me to amend the title, the thumbnail, I mean, you know, if it's really that bad, private the video. I mean, I don't really care. It's like an old video. You know, it's 5 months old. It's run its course. It's not going to garner particularly many new views, I don't think. So I'm open to negotiation, okay? I'm open to a discussion about what needs to happen. But instead of telling me, like, I don't know, well,
yes,
could you change the title?
Yes,
you
yes,
know,
actually.
Could you amend this? Could you amend that? He starts trying to fucking debate.
Sometimes in the middle of a 3-hour British politics segment talking about British taxes, sometimes I drop like the most important piece of the stream and you'll just miss it. You've actually missed like some key points because you didn't show up and watch 100% of the stream beginning to end through the entire set, through all of it. And so you're going to be just totally lost for like a week. You're going to be totally lost for like a week.
He tries to fucking debate me! Bro, I don't fucking care about your debate!
Yeah, I don't think Chud's attracted to men, generally. I think he was attracted to some men a few years ago. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying with the spectrum thing. I don't think he's generally attracted to men. I think he had an attraction to some men due to the media that he was consuming and the people he was around several years ago. That's what I'm saying with the spectrum thing.
Like, just tell me what you want me to do and I'll consider it. That's it. I guess at least an acknowledgement of a double standard, I guess. It just doesn't make sense to me. An understanding, I guess.
Yeah, men are a little bit like
do you get where
Liam.
I'm coming from or disagree? I don't know. Do you think it's unreasonable to point this out, especially considering what you have dealt with? And so I'm a bit exacerbated at this point. And bear in mind as well, this is whilst I'm streaming too. Okay? This is whilst I'm streaming as well. So I'm trying to focus on that. They're sending me these fucking messages. It's, you know, quite frustrating.
Dude, am I crazy? I feel like there are clips of Chud doing the whole feminine penis thing. I swear there are clips of Chud saying that shit. I swear down there are clips of Chud saying that shit. Also, the piece, a totally lost piece of content, when Chud debated this guy from his chat called, was it Lorenzo or some shit his name was? Chud debated some guy who used to be in his Twitch chat called Lorenzo about whether it was gay to be attracted to traps and femboys. And he was obviously in the negative, it's not gay camp, and argued this for like 2 hours. But that's a totally lost VOD, unfortunately.
To fucking deal with some needy bitch in your DMs when you're fucking trying to focus on streaming. So I'm like, make whatever point you want, man. Just funny that you want to turn your back on your past and act like it never happened. You weren't joking about rape, etc. to placate your weirdo teeny bop audience. And you have now. Now you want to have some private debate about whether or not you're making a fair point. I don't care, bro. Which is true. I do not care. I do not care to argue the toss about whether or not I'm a hypocrite in DMs whilst I'm streaming, okay, about some 5-month-old video in reference to a drama that I was embroiled in 2021. I do not care, bro. I don't care about...
That's a curious suggestion, Smith. That is true. Maybe Chud is naturally more gay, but it's straight because of the content he does now and what he consumes. That's interesting. That's an interesting point. The thing is, I don't know if there's like a true sexuality. I don't know how you would tell what someone's actual disposition is. I lean towards thinking he's naturally straight just because I think that's the majority. You know, I think that's the most, you know, average, statistically likely sexual development is that you are generally straight at least, if not almost exclusively. So I lean towards naturally straight, just logically. But you're right. There's no way of knowing. There's no way of knowing. He could be, you know, kind of lying to himself now.
About this. That's what I'm saying. What are you looking for here? Tell me what you want. You want me to change the title?
See, we're really putting Aiko to shame here. See, Aiko did days of streaming about how Chud said he was groomed by trans people and never came to such deep insights about this guy's warped internal mind.
Private the video. Let's talk about it. But instead he's trying to debate me. And I think it's like, that's the outcome that he wants. He wants me to change it in some way, but he's too afraid to say it. So instead he just goes around the houses with this, and I'm just like, dude, I just don't fucking care.
39 by curious.
At this point, focus on my stream.
You
know, obviously...
Uninhibited, and 3 months later the MK Ultra kicks in and they're looking like geishas or bearded dragons queens on stream.
Jesus Christ, thank you. Thank you, huge appreciate it, thank you.
Over the days, forget about this conversation, and that's it, essentially. And I've got to be honest with you. This is the first time I've actually read this. I skimmed over it briefly, but this is the first time I've actually read this DM. Because when I saw that he sent me another bit of text, I was like, I can't be fucked with this. And I didn't really read it properly. So, let's read this. Not trying to make this aggressive, and it wasn't planning on getting into all your other critiques, but to quickly sum it off, I of course find jokes funny, but made the decision to not be the guy who makes rape review jokes, especially publicly, because I don't want to be that guy. And overall, as a person at 20, wanted to change who I am and how I portray myself. I don't think that's an unreasonable thing to believe, but you can or not. Regardless, I was strictly talking about the pedo thing because it is the most extreme and blatant lie, but if you don't care about lying, then the convo stops, I guess, stops here. I don't know how this standard you can ever be upset when other people call you a pedophile. So just wanted to get your reasoning here, but there isn't any. That's all I wanted to bring up. Where am I admitting to lying, bro? The thing I don't care about is having a debate about this. I'm not looking to have a debate. Where's the lie? Dude, where am I saying I don't care about lying or I lied?
Yeah, I think if I was going to try and steal man Loam here, if I was going to try and steal a woman, steal them, Loam here. I would say that Loam probably feels like, because he's pointed out a contradiction, what he sees as a contradiction, what they see as a contradiction, and Chud isn't taking action on that contradiction despite now being aware of it. That is tantamount to knowingly lying. However, that's not what he said, is it? He said it's outright lying and shit like that. Outright admitted to lying and all this shit. Just not what fucking happened in these DMs, dude. It's not what happened in these DMs. Chud was on stream. You were, you know, being a woman about it. You didn't want to say what you meant.
About you, in fact. So fucking stupid, dude. So stupid. Oh my god, bro. Well, exactly, and that's fine if he wants to take it that way, but to put it out publicly and to claim, what was it again? What was it he claimed? To claim, outright said to me that he lies about me and will continue to lie about me when I talk to him in DMs. Points to the point where I outright say to him, I lie about him and will continue to lie about him. Where's that in the DMs exactly? Where's that in the DMs? It's not there. It's not there because it didn't fucking happen, dude. Because it never happened. Because even if I did think like that, which I don't, I would not admit to that in fucking DMs.
Kaijoma. Kaijoma.
So, yeah. Obviously, I'm not going to make any changes to the video. Even if he asks me now, he can get fucked. No. People will learn about your pedophilic past, Liam. Very unfortunate. Very unfortunate as you continue to grow.
Oh, no. Dude, the Kaijoma shit is funny. It is a vocal stem.
I don't really feel like I've... I mean, I get it's a provocative framing, and I get him being annoyed about it. But, like...
That got me so bad, bro.
I feel like I said quite plainly. I mean, what are you looking for here? I mean, what are you looking for here? Like, what? What are you looking for, bro? I'm opening it up. You know, I mean, the way I see it is like, I could easily see that as changing to like lolicon past. That could be a change because that is not as provocative and more accurate to the circumstances because he does have, you know, a previous history of lolicon controversy. So it could change to lolicon past, you know? I mean, you know, if it was the case that at this stage in October, because bear in mind this is UK dates from my screenshot. This is back in October. If it was the case that
man who doesn't question mark who doesn't know what words mean, winging his way through these essays is so funny. Dude, this is the thing, man. You know, I can't help it. I like underdogs. I want to see Loam do well. I can't help it. I want to see him win in the long run. You know, I want to see him figure out how to make his points. But yeah, it's funny. The DMs are incredibly funny.
Loads of problems and issues. I would potentially even have been open to privating the video or unlisting the video, perhaps. It's not really any skin off my nose because I genuinely am not in this to, you know, have stuff out there that ruins Liam Donovan's career. I don't care. It's like, whatever, dude. It was a funny thing.
I don't think anyone's confused why Liam doesn't want to do commentary content anymore. Yes, he is a little bit sensitive. He doesn't like people make these super mean jokes about him. You know, he does like music. The Brad Tay stuff does seem to appeal more to him. Just sit there and bob his head like a fucking blow up doll on stream for a few hours while people send him money to listen to music. You know, I think it makes total sense. It's like, have your opinions. Has your mindset truly changed? Have your thoughts and opinions and beliefs really changed, or are you sort of, you know, playing fast and loose?
Cover at the time, and it was a provocative, funny framing. But I'm not out to like destroy his fucking career. I don't care about his career. You know, it's obviously irritating that he's dishonest in my perspective and how he's moving.
And unfortunately, he is sort of in a very silly and unforced way he is, as much as I'm joking, like, Guy Jorma, Guy Jorma, Guy Jorma, he is triggering a little bit of the iDubbbz effect here, I think. Because he's not just putting distance, he's turning around and going, can't believe you waste your time being pathetic, making jokes about trans people in 2-hour videos. Like, it's like, oh my god, spare me, please. Spare me the fucking whinging and hand-wringing. No one gives a fuck if you make jokes about trans people on the internet. I'm sorry, Chud's British. Like, everyone fucking hates trans people here. Who would give a fuck? Like, legit, it doesn't even make any sense, right? It's not even like it's socially abnormal to be doing that sort of shit. The socially abnormal part is actually, you know, being interested in sexual relations with trans people. That's the socially abnormal part. You know, it's actually far more accepted what Chud's doing now. And what Liam's doing certainly is not socially accepted. So it's just like a strange way to take it.
Moved on, but whatever. Go and make your money, go and do your music stuff. So I just don't understand this logic here of, you know, responding to this post and just saying shit that isn't true about me. So, yeah. That's it. That's the drama. That's it. Kuihman mentioned in chat that Aiden had said to him, I guess.
Oh yeah, I spoke to Aiden off stream briefly. Apparently, Aiden spoke to Lyrics about this conversation after they had it, and was basically like, "Yeah, you need to communicate clearer. You should have been explicit. This is like retarded, as you'd expect. The obvious take." Aiden is next. That's facts. Dude, that Deeper Rama tweet. Where's the Deeper Rama tweet? Aiden was seething over this tweet, man. That AI female Aiden edit is way too bad for you guys to go around posting willy-nilly like that. This is the image. That's the image. Just Brittany Simon with dark hair. It is literally just Brittany Simon with dark hair. Way too bad for you to go around posting like that. Oh my god, it's so funny. It is so funny. Okay. What's this? Is this just the same clip?
I was with a girl once, and Jesus,
Yeah.
So this wasn't talked about beforehand, and this was just something in the heat of the moment, and then she just put her finger in my ass, and I was like, what the fuck are you doing? And then we just stopped. I was like, what the fuck? Dude, I was with a girl once, and
Yeah, I think the consensus is that he's lying about this. That he just made this story up to make himself sound more sexually experienced than he is. Like, she just stuck her finger in your ass in the middle of sex, and then you just stopped. Like, what is this story, man? It doesn't make any sense. Like, there are ways I can see this happening. You know, I could imagine, like, you know, maybe it's like some fucking, I don't know. Well, yeah, exactly. What's the mechanics here, first of all? How does this work with Nick? How does this work with Nick? That's the first question. Well, Deeper Armor simulated that, so we know how this works with Nick. Just to run around to the side and use a light attack into 2 heavy attacks and then do the execute animation. So we've already had that simulated. So really, it's just about like what is the situation here? And I think I can almost imagine it if that it's like done almost in jest. The woman thinks like, epic quirk chungus, I'm sticking a finger in your ass. And like, but there would be some kind of prelude there, some kind of mention or lead up or something there, I would imagine. The idea that just like, what does a woman get out of in the middle of sex showing her finger into Nicholas Diorio's nasty fucking ass cave? Like, what is the end game there? What is the benefit? What is the point? Why are you trying that? It doesn't make any sense. And then you just stop with no discussion. Like, just like, oh, what the fuck? And then you just stop. Like, you don't leave. If it was that bad, you wouldn't leave, or you wouldn't be like, yo, what the fuck? Or like confront her. None of it makes any sense. But my understanding is he's told the story multiple times, so he is really trying to land this. He's really trying to put this home. If nobody reaching inside Nick Diorio's asshole. Ain't nobody reaching inside Nicholas Diorio's asshole. Nobody doing that shit. Nobody want to do that shit. Now, if Liam said this, I might believe him. Now, if Liam said this, I might believe him. But Nicholas Diorio, not a fucking chance. If Liam said this, he's also lying. She pegged him, actually.